yard is filthy. I can smell it from my porch.
Caleb's asthma got worse. His medicine took everything.
That is not my problem.
Ma'am, why are you standing out here shaking?
Because she keeps saying my home is disgusting.
Then sit down, I will make it safe again.
From the curb, it looked like weeds. On the porch, it was a grandmother choosing medicine over grass. Before we begin, let me know where you are watching from. It is always special to see how many places one story can reach. Mrs. Rose's little house used to look warm from the street. The porch was swept, the walkway was clear, and the small flower pots near the steps always had something blooming. But that summer, the grass grew higher than usual. Weeds covered the front path. Dry leaves gathered near the fence, and the yard began to look messy enough for people to stare. Her neighbor, Mrs. Carter, stared the most. She was loud, bitter, and always ready with a complaint. One afternoon, she marched over and told Rose her yard was filthy and that she was tired of smelling it from her porch. Rose stood near the steps, one hand on the railing, her knees shaking under her long skirt. She told Mrs. Carter her grandson's asthma had gotten worse, and she had used the mowing money for his breathing medicine. Mrs. Carter crossed her arms and said that was not her problem. Rose lowered her eyes. She was 75 years old, raising her 10-year-old grandson Caleb after his mother left and his father passed away. Caleb had severe asthma, and every hot week made his breathing worse. The money Rose once used to hire a lawn service now went to inhalers, clinic rides, electric bills, and the machine that helped Caleb breathe at night. She had tried to cut the grass herself, but her knees locked up after a few steps, and the mower felt too heavy in her hands. A young lawn guy named Mason drove by just as Mrs. Carter kept scolding her. He saw the old woman trembling on the porch and pulled over. He asked Rose why she was standing outside shaking. Rose said because her neighbor kept saying her home was disgusting. Mason told her to sit down and he would make it safe again. Rose immediately said she could not pay. Mason said he was not asking her to. He unloaded his mower, rake, trimmer, and bags, then started with the walkway because Caleb needed a clear path to the car whenever his breathing got bad. The mower cut through the tall grass in slow, heavy rows. The porch appeared again. The mailbox came back. The path no longer looked like something that could trip an old woman or a sick child. As Mason cleared near the front window, he found a small plastic dinosaur half buried in the weeds. Rose covered her mouth when she saw it. She said Caleb used to play there when his breathing was better, pretending the front yard was a jungle. Lately, he had been too weak to run outside. Mason placed the dinosaur on the porch rail and kept working. Mrs. Carter stood silently now, watching the yard change. It was easier to hate tall grass when she did not have to imagine a child inside struggling for air. By late afternoon, the yard was clean enough to be safe. The walkway was open, the porch was cleared, and the little dinosaur sat in the sunlight like a tiny piece of childhood returned. Caleb came to the window and waved weakly. Rose waved back with tears in her eyes. Mrs. Carter finally picked up one bag of leaves and carried it to the curb. Rose looked at her and said, "You smelled my yard every day, but never once asked what was happening inside." Mrs. Carter had no sharp answer left. A messy yard can hide medicine bills, sleepless nights, and someone choosing a child's breath over a clean lawn. If this story made you pause before judging, leave a comment with the word "breathe." And if you want more stories about kindness showing up when people need it most, you can share and follow along for the next one.